the ancient forest, a silent vigil begins as the Sultan mother guards her precious, fragile white eggs. Her sharp orange eyes never blink, scanning for the slightest movement while the forest breathes with hidden life and unseen dangers. With delicate precision, she rotates each egg, ensuring the life within develops perfectly under her warm, protective and voluminous white plumage. Even as the heavens open and rain lashes the stump, she remains an immovable fortress, sacrificing her comfort for their survival. But shadows are shifting on the forest floor, where a silent predator slithers closer, drawn by the scent of potential prey. Sensing the threat, the mother erupts in a fierce display of power, her white feathers fanning out to challenge the intruder. A violent struggle ensues as she strikes with her beak, fighting desperately to reclaim the future that the serpent tried to steal. The predator retreats with a heavy price, leaving the mother to mourn the lost egg while she gathers the remaining survivors. Time passes, and the first cracks of life appear, signaling the end of the long wait and the beginning of everything. A tiny, wet miracle emerges into the light, greeted by the gentle nuzzle of a mother who has risked everything for this. Soon, the nest erupts in a flurry of yellow fluff as siblings break free, joining the struggle for life in the wild. The mother meticulously clears the debris, removing every trace of the shells to keep her new family hidden from hungry eyes. Under the silver moon, she remains the ultimate guardian, her heartbeat the only rhythm in a forest filled with nocturnal whispers. At 40 days old, the call of the earth becomes irresistible, and the mother encourages her brood to take their first leap. One by one, they tumble onto the soft moss, discovering a world that is as beautiful as it is dangerous and vast. Lessons in survival begin immediately, as she teaches them to scratch the soil and find the hidden treasures of the forest. In rare moments of peace, they bask in the warmth, their tiny bodies absorbing the energy needed for the trials ahead. But the peace is an illusion, for amber eyes watch from the hollows, calculating the perfect moment to strike the flight. A sharp cry shatters the silence, and the chicks vanish beneath their mother's wings, seeking refuge in her familiar, warm embrace. The mother strikes with lethal spurs, driving the marten back into the shadows, proving that her love is a formidable weapon. With the threat gone, she inspects her brood, ensuring that every life she fought for remains safe under her watchful gaze. As 50 days pass, the yellow fluff gives way to white quills, the first signs of the majestic birds they will become. They learn to cleanse themselves in the dry earth, a vital ritual to keep their developing plumage healthy and free of parasites. Now in their awkward youth, they roam the forest floor, a patchy mix of gold and white, growing stronger with every step. Competition sharpens their instincts as they chase swift prey, learning that in this world, only the quick and the clever eat. When the storms return, they huddle together, a living wall of feathers that keeps the cold at bay and the spirit high. The iconic Sultan crest begins to bloom like a white flower, a crown of survival that will soon define their noble lineage. Mock battles establish the order of the flock, as the young roosters test their strength under the mother as spirit, guiding them. At 90 days they reach the precipice, staring down into a misty abyss that represents the ultimate test of their courage. The marten returns, trapping them against the void, forcing a choice between the predator's claws or the leap into the unknown. With a desperate shove, the mother sends her children into the air, choosing the mercy of the wind over the marten. Gravity takes hold as the first chick tumbles through the fog, its wings beating a frantic rhythm against the cold, rushing air. After ensuring her brood is airborne, the mother follows, a white angel descending into the mist to find her scattered family. Left behind on the ledge, the predator snarls at the empty air, defeated by a mother's radical and terrifying act of faith. In the heart of the abyss, she finds them, spreading her wings to guide her children through the treacherous, swirling white clouds. They impact the soft ferns below, bouncing like popcorn on the forest floor, miraculously unharmed by their incredible journey through the sky. The mother touches down with a heavy thud, her eyes immediately searching the green shadows for the voices of her survivors. One by one, they emerge from the ferns, rushing into her embrace, a family forged in the fire of a shared miracle. High above, the marten retreats into the darkness, a shadow of the past that can no longer reach the kingdom below. At 100 days, the transformation is complete, as the yellow fluff vanishes, replaced by the pure, shimmering white of adulthood. The young roosters clash in a dance of dominance, their white crests shaking as they heave from the right to left. The mother continues her lessons, showing them how to corner swift prey among the roots, turning them into efficient forest hunters. Even in the hunt, there is order, as the mother ensures the smallest are fed, maintaining the strength of the entire flock. A new threat appears from the sky, a silent shadow that turns the trodden sea into a field of frozen, white statues. The mother leaps to intercept the diving hawk, a collision of feathers and fury that protects her children from the aerial strike. Battered but victorious, she is tended to by her offspring, their gentle beaks a biological testament to the bond they share. At 140 days, a raspy, broken sound echoes through the trees, the first attempt at a leader's morning call. They bask in the intense sun, meticulously cleaning every feather to ensure their white plumage remains a symbol of their health. The mother watches from a distance as her children forage alone, her role shifting from a shield to a silent, proud observer. As the sun sets, they take to the high branches, leaving the dangerous ground behind to sleep among the ancient forest steppers. The young rooster tests his strength against the trees, his spurs and tail feathers growing into the tools of a true king. When a wildcat emerges, the flock forms a defensive wall, their collective courage proving that they are no longer easy to cut as prey. Under the full moon, they move with a ghostly grace, a synchronized ritual that binds the flock together in the forest night. They navigate the slippery stones of the stream, drinking deeply from the life-giving waters that flow through their vast, green territory. Close up on the adult spurs, lethal weapons forged through months of survival, ready to defend the kingdom against any who dare enter. In the darkness, the rooster strikes with precision, clearing the forest floor of intruders and securing the flock's precious food supply. At 200 days, the perfect crow shatters the dawn, a signal of dominance that announces the arrival of the new king. The original mother rests in the nest, her long journey of sacrifice flowing over as she watches her legacy thrive and grow. A daughter begins her own search for a hollow, the ancient cycle of life preparing to repeat itself in the forest shadows. From the roots to the canopy, the Sultan kingdom is established, a testament to the enduring power of instinct and maternal love. A new egg rests in the hollow, a pristine white promise of the future, guarded by a mother who remembers her lessons. The matriarch guides the newest generation, showing them the secrets of the soil as she once did for her own golden chicks. Disaster strikes as the waters rise, but the king leads his people to safety, his white plumage a beacon in the storm. A fox lurks in the rain, its amber eyes fixed on the exhausted flock, waiting for a single moment of biological weakness. The king meets the predator alone, a brutal clash of fur and feathers that ends with the fox swept away. As the forest turns to fire, the white birds must find new ways to hide among the falling leaves of the season. Territory is contested as wild rivals appear, but the Sultan King asserts his right to the forest's bounty with a powerful call. The original mother returns to the earth where she began. Her life begins to snow falls on the ancient pines, driving the flock into the cold stone heart of the mountain to wait for the sun. The king digs through the ice, uncovering the forest's hidden winter stores to keep his family alive through the long, dark nights. Even in the freeze, life finds a way, as a new chick breaks its shell in the warmth of a hidden hollow. They become a single breathing mass of white feathers, sharing their biological warmth to survive the most brutal nights of the year. The ice melts and the flock emerges, their white plumage brilliant against the new green of a forest reborn in the sun. The king pushes the young to the limits of their wings, ensuring they can navigate the complex architecture of the forest canopy. An old enemy returns, but he finds a united front, a flock that has learned to fight as one against the shadows. Defeated and broken, the predator flees into the deep woods, knowing that this territory now belongs to the white-crested kings of survival. They celebrate the abundance of the new year. Their white feathers like clouds fall into earth in a true unleashed cycle. Intelligence meets instinct as they learn to use their voluminous crests as shields, a unique biological defense against the forest size. They cross the water to claim new lands, their journey of expansion driven by the same fire that kept them alive before. 1 full year has passed, and the king stands tall, a survivor who has turned a single egg into a thriving empire. The third generation sheds its gold, their white feathers a biological signal that they are ready to take their place in history. Discipline and order define the flock as they move through the trees, a white army that no predator can easily break apart. But the ultimate test arrives in the form of the lynx, a ghost of the forest with eyes like cold, blue ice. The king's cry shatters the night, a warning that sends the flock to the safety of the stone while he stands alone. Fury meets tooth and claw as the king strikes the lynx, a battle of titans that will decide the fate of the new king. The flock joins the fight, a blizzard of white wings that overwhelms the predator and drives the lynx back into the dark. In the aftermath, the king tends to his people, the bonds of the flock strengthened by the blood they shed together tonight. 450 days in, the forest is white with Sultan birds, a thriving civilization born from a mother's early sacrifice. They stand on the cliff not as victims, but as masters, looking out over a world they have conquered through sheer will. In the same stump where it all began, a new life pips its shell, the eternal flame of survival burning bright again. A young rooster takes up the watch, his orange eyes reflecting the same fire that once burned in his father's noble heart. Hundreds of white crowns fill the Yianangan, an immortal kingdom that has become an inseparable part of the ancient forest Essu. A ghostly memory of the first mother flickers in the light, her spirit living on in every wingbeat of her many descendants. The newest chick takes its first step into the moss, its eyes reflecting the sky that is once safe and wide open. A single white feather drifts down the stream, a biological symbol of a legacy that will flow through Nunang woods forevermore. The king bows to the ancient stump, a silent moment of gratitude for the mother who gave everything so they could live. The forest canopy erupts in a dance of white Vizanagumayan, a celebration of life that echoes to the very edge of heaven. In the king's eye, the past and future meet, a biological bridge that ensures the Sultan name will never fade from earth. One last crow shatters the moonlight, a triumphant anthem of survival marking the end of one journey and the beginning of eternity. The legacy lives on in the heart of the wild, a story of 210 days that became a legend.